Right folks, a bit of deja vu, but we're in the GTI today, heading back down to Scooby Clinic, which is just around the corner. Lovely countryside out here, or rally stage as I like to call it. Now the interesting thing is the Impreza is actually already there. I got it recovered yesterday to avoid the whole rubbish brake situation on the motorway. Right, so we should be able to see X89 UMA somewhere here. A very nice looking GC8 over there, Mica blue with some pretty cool wheels. The car's already been on the ramp because it arrived yesterday. It's inside ready for the inspection. Dave's already had a look at it, so we're going to go meet up with him in a second. He's a mechanic who's going to be showing us around. Now, if you are new here, make sure you do subscribe if you like this kind of content. Right folks, so we're here with the Impreza. It's already on the lift. We're here with Dave or Chris, whichever one you want to call him. He's going to be giving us a tour of the car today. As with the GTI inspection, it's going to be the same kind of format. We'll begin with the exterior at this kind of height. We'll get the bonnet open. I'll just let you guys run through whatever you see fit, really. So for a brief little history on the car itself, for new viewers who are just tuning into this video for the first time, this car was bought a few months back. The guy who I bought it off, he did replace the engine in it himself, and also he bought it with the arches rotted. So from what he told me, he changed the engine with a 80,000 mile one off eBay, and he did some welding. But the main stuff that I know is it's got a busted inlet pipe and a few other little bits, but we'll let Dave take it away anyway.
So, start at the back.
Okay.
Look at the brakes, all the back lines for it. Another thing to look out for on these as well, at the edge of the car is the fuel line. It's a bit hard to see, I don't know if your camera will get that.
Yep. Down there.
That one there.
Okay.
That, they do sometimes split,
okay,
start cracking. Now if that goes, that's obviously an extra hot turbo, so that is something to look out for if you're looking into one of these. This one looks alright.
Some positives then already.
Oh, coolant pipe.
So this coolant pipe you're saying is quite, it's quite strangled.
Yeah, it's got a really big kink in it there.
It's a bit strange. I mean, if it was genuine, we wouldn't have this issue. I mean, what do you reckon could be the issue here then?
It's like it's too long.
One thing, when I did pick this up, he did supply me with a pack of silicone hoses, and I'm not aware of the quality, but he did say I was planning to change it. That was what his words were. So maybe he also...
That's probably why he's probably bought them.
He probably thought that was okay. So there's that.
Ooh, no battery clamp.
No battery clamp, yeah, it's very loose.
Rocking and rolling.
He's got a mind of his own, and it just wants
to... Aircon lines.
Yeah, the aircon. So the aircon's disconnecting them pretty much.
Yeah, at that, yeah. There'll be no gas in the system for that.
Yeah.
Once bolting back up, then regassing.
Race car life, I don't know, need for aircon.
Take it off, lightweight.
Lightweight, yeah. So the engine bay, visually and for what it is, does it just, is the stuff that's loose then? Is there any...
Loose, yeah, I mean, it needs tidying up.
The inlet pipe as well was one. I mean, this is the thing that was supposedly chucking the check engine light. It hasn't come on for about a couple of months, but when I first picked it up, it used to come on when the car, and then flick off, on and off. That's
a lovely bodge repair, that is.
Yeah, he said he bodged it.
Yeah, that is a lovely bodge repair.
The actual words of the guy was, I've done a bit of like a bod job, but you need to change it, so that's why I did buy one, but we'll see.
You find that a lot on the older cars, where you get that with a lot of the standard parts, you do get that. So we just replace them with silicone.
Silicone, yeah.
Usually in black, because I mean, standard black, it looks neat.
It looks neat, yeah. Makes sense. So silicone pipes, man. That's one of the main things I was doing on my GTI. They were just flying off. I was like, no, let me just change them all.
I think for that, other than I suppose send it up a little bit for the next stage.
Yeah.
Which would be the wheels, the brakes. Have a look at the arches, because they usually go on the arches as well on these.
The exciting stuff there next, then basically.
Could be, it could be.
That was one thing. That's the whole reason why I did not drive this car down. Brakes aren't even that tight.
Good decision not to drive
Good decision not to, yeah. I haven't done too many miles in this car since I bought it. I don't really like to push the car or really do anything with it till it's had its inspection. I know the projects are very DIY, but still you gotta let specialists have a look at it first and then prod around with it, but yeah. Right. So, got the old torch on the go.
A little bit crusty on the shocker. I have seen worse, a lot worse than that. But it's there. It doesn't look to be leaking, there's no moisture around it here.
Okay.
Have a good feel up in here. Again, it's all the bits that you can't usually see unless you've got a ramp or it feels solid.
Cool.
Fair. Tyres, make sure there's no lumps and bumps.
So in terms of these wheels and tyres, I did buy them afterwards. I bought them off eBay from like a Subaru breaker. And he said they all 4 matching, seemed to got fairly decent tread on them. He had a set of 18s on there that had mismatching tyres, so I couldn't stand that. I was like, tyres, I can't have 4 different ones.
I'll be honest with you, I'm saying you've got to have matching tyres.
Yeah.
Because it just, you know, if you're following a car with it, driving me crackers. Just buy a matching pair.
Yeah, just it makes all
in pairs.
I know. Even the wheel bolts had some rainbow things on there before, and I was like, just the basics, man. They need to just be. And then on the other side, the two studs were missing, so I put them in.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was a bit of a pain to do the rear one because the handbrake shoe just disintegrated when I took the rear one off.
Nightmare job there.
Yeah, so. Oh, that's a bit loose, isn't it?
That will probably be the ball joint.
Yeah. The ball joints are perished on this. So you can see in there. So we have got 2 in the car which was supplied with it, so which is a good sign. Guy did give something with it.
Well, made a half effort, I suppose.
Half effort, yeah. So it definitely does have that very, you know, it's consistent with that unfinished project kind of theme so far.
That is actually a nice solid front panel. The 01 stuff does kind of suffer with rotting around these bits here.
This one's
solid.
Sound.
Pretty much same test again.
Yep.
See if we've got any unsightly rot anywhere. It all feels solid, to be fair. It looks solid as well. Right, move on to the back. Yeah, he's had a bit of bodywork around to it.
Yeah, so he bought it with the arches fully decayed. It was a standing car for many years.
Yeah.
I saw a brief picture of it. It was just all like, you know, when it's not even bubbling, you know, when it's just fallen off. It was like that. So
quite bad when
so
first got it there.
So I think he spent most of his budget getting this done, what he told me. So then he just never had time to do anything else, or he just ran out. Yeah,
they can get quite deep into project car kind of stuff when you start doing the bodywork on these things, especially on the rear arches.
Yeah.
They do tend to go up here, about here on the inner side of here, which is where your strut goes.
Top of the suspension, yeah.
Yeah, they all go on this inner edge here. It's a very thin plate, but end of the day it needs to be solid, which to be fair, someone has done it.
So I noticed it's got new dampers in there. Sachs dampers, when I took the wheel off.
Yeah. I feel a bit... That feels worn to me, that. For a rear shocker, maybe. Either be a very, very soft shocker, or as you say, it's been stood for a bit. Yeah. And it's gone a bit saggy. To be fair, the spring looks quite crusty. Maybe the spring has started worn. Yeah, the spring looks very crusty. People don't you just think of springs wearing unless it snaps, but springs can. They can. End of the day, it's sat in a cup that's squished like that. It's going to get weak over time. It's just sitting there compressed the whole time. Yeah. Springs do get weak over time. So. Very thorough test here by Dave or Chris, whichever one you want to call him. Yeah, there's a long story with that, but we're not going to that. He's going to be Dave for today's video anyway. On the next video, I'll be Chris. Next video will be Chris. Yeah. So this one, does that look a bit stiffer than the other side? So that is actually a fair bit stiffer. Yeah, you can tell straight away. I think that the other side is either the shocker's worn or the spring. I'm swaying more towards probably the shocker. Yeah. I mean, it is on the passenger side, so you're going to get your grates, your potholes and stuff more on your passenger side, which would make sense to that. Yeah. That goes in every car, can't roll really though, doesn't it? You know, you're going to get that. Yeah, the exciting stuff, the brakes, which so, that's not quite. So if you guys remember, I tried to illustrate the previous video. I go, the brake caliper threads are all loose, and I bought new bolts. They're in the car, but there's no point because there's no thread there. So that's why it's been trailered here to get helicoiled as well whilst we're here. Yeah, it's a bit loose, isn't it? It's a bit loose, yeah. So you can see why I bought the GTI with me. But yeah, these this would come to a shock. It'd be a big shock to me if I never knew about it or I drove it. But yeah, you didn't stop. That'll be quite an interesting end to the journey, won't it? Yeah. So luckily I've had the wheels off a few times, mainly being for the studs at the rear. Oh, yeah. So that's when I was, because normally a caliper carrier or whatever, they're quite torqued on quite high. You're gonna have to get the breaker bar to get off caliper. Yeah. It wasn't tightened at all. I was thinking, yeah, it's loose. I looked inside and there's no thread. Disappointing. Right, I suppose we'll send it up a bit further and have a look underneath the car and see what more treasure we're looking for.
Treasures, I like that word.
It's all meant to be very informative as well, so you know, if you're going to buy one of these cheap Imprezas, this is what you need to look out for. Of course, if you don't know what you're doing or you're not too familiar with working on cars, just come and see these guys. They'll sort you out.
It's a lovely looking anti-roll bar there, isn't it?
That is, yes, it's seen better days, hasn't it?
The ironic thing is my previous video was installing new anti-roll bars on my GTI.
You've missed this one though, haven't you?
Yeah, this one, one at a time.
When you anti-roll bar, your bushings are all cracked and perished, which for aged car,
Yeah, it happens, yeah.
it happens. It's a rubber bush.
Yeah. I would end up chucking it all out for poly bushes if I was doing it anyway, so you expect that, yeah.
I'm not a body side kind of man. We've got a separate body shop for that, but I would say with that, they cut it back to a point where it's then solid and then put a new plate in there. The next thing, moving down, I suppose. It looks like somebody's done a new fuel neck. Which is this bit, which goes up to your fuel filler.
I think it's nice and silver.
It's nice and silver. That looks new.
Yeah.
But you've also got a breather pipe. Now you can see a bit of it here. Now that looks pretty crusty there.
Yeah. Yep, can see, yeah. Got it, that's the one there.
Also, it goes through the chassis leg. And it goes to there, and we've got a little hole there.
Right, let me get
You might be able to get it on camera.
Yeah, you can see there.
See that?
That's it there.
And that's going to be where your smell is.
Where the fuel smells, yeah.
Again, your bushers, they're all perished. But the thing is, you find with Subaru is even though they are perished, they do generally drive. I'm going to say they don't go really loose.
I've noticed that even with it doesn't feel like
it doesn't feel. It doesn't look like it's like a jelly.
Because my GTI, when I had the bushes were perished, it didn't feel tight at all, and when I changed them, it was like night and day.
Yeah.
But I mean, this still, even the little, I mean, the first drive that I've done, it was
all perished.
Yeah.
And going. We'll flip round to the other side.
Yep.
See these here, look again.
Yeah.
All perished and fallen to bits.
The first thing I try to do now is poly bush, get the stuff, you know, fluid changes, and but poly bushes as well is always on my agenda. So, I mean, if the viewers, if you've been following the other stuff, you'll know the GTR made a big deal about changing bushes. So this is expected. This is expected.
Yeah. So I suppose on that note, we'll move on. What they actually bolted to, subframe. So
subframe, yeah.
Well, look at subframe. It's been waxed on, obviously.
Yeah.
We usually do this for a good reason. Yeah, it's a bit. I mean, I'm not obviously banging that really hard. Move over to this bit. You check your rear diff bushes. Not too bad. Oh, but they are slightly wearing on this bit here.
Yeah, it's the left side. Yeah, you can see here.
Which, again, you know, you can either have your standard bushes or poly bushes.
Okay, yeah.
Generally speaking, poly bushes are your way forward because you can knock them out on the car.
Yeah.
And then you can push the new ones back in.
Okay.
With a little.
Is it like an insert?
Yeah.
Okay, it's like an insert.
Insert, and then you have your diff back in and exhaust as well.
Yeah. So this exhaust, I was trying to figure out what it is. I haven't had a look at it to see any sort of branding on it or anything, but you guys see hundreds of these, so.
Yeah, it looks to me as if it's a Rage system, although Rage, I believe, actually mark their products with Rage on them. So it could be either a Rage and it's they've not put it on, or it is a copy of a Rage maybe. But it looks very Rage style, a Jap style one as well because it kicks off out a little bit.
It does sound nice, that's one thing I can confirm. It makes a nice rumble, it sounds like a Subaru.
And that's why you buy them, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what it is, yeah.
That's why you buy them.
It's like I turned this car on and before I've even driven it, I'm like, oh, this is fun, isn't it?
That is the rotten bit. Yeah. That bit will rot from the inside out. And then obviously it will then bleed through and then rot the outer skin, which is what everybody sees. And again, that also bleeds down from your strut tops as well.
Yeah, strut tops.
And then all that area there is linked in. I mean, I've seen when they're really bad and you're doing strut tops, you're into the boot, so it's trim out, seats out, everything. A
few that I went to visit, like I just opened the boot and pulled the trims back, and you could literally just poke them through, like they were just decayed. When I opened the boot on this one, it seems to be just one big, it's got two panels put in. Right. So when you poke, there's nothing there, it's all one clear panel. So I mean, it was a bit more reassuring than some of the other ones I saw, but I suppose there's, with a car this age, even if you fix one thing, you got to really go all the way to get everything out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you want a proper solid car,
Yeah.
Because of the age of the cars, you're nearly at that point of you're taking everything off the car.
Yeah.
You're putting new panel where it needs it, welding it.
Yeah.
Rebuilding everything. Again, you're fitting your new arms, your bushes, your things like that.
Yeah.
This is your diff brace. Again, you know, they aren't solid mounts from factory anyway.
They always have a bit of play, don't they?
Yeah. But again, you know, age of the car, bushes, it's done wherever mileage it's done.
Yeah.
You know, things are gonna start getting a bit looser. Fuel line as well. That's a little bit just starting to crust. So your fuel lines on these cars go up through the floor, through the car.
Yeah.
On this side, your brake lines go up through the floor here, and down this side. It's a bonus when you have to replace them, because generally you only end up replacing the bit from the junction box back, unless you're unlucky enough to have it there, and then, well, it's interesting then. Forward to the exhaust again. Isn't a race style kind of exhaust with a flexi in. It's seen better days. Flexi mesh has come all off. Looks as if it's been blowing.
Yeah, I could feel it when I had it up on the ramp briefly. I could feel something there. So the downpipe nuts are a bit loose then.
It could
just missing entirely.
Missing, and that one's loose.
Yeah. Okay, easy.
Which I'm guessing that nut there is probably seized on.
Yeah.
Because these do actually seize on quite readily.
Should be easily remedied, I guess. Get some new nuts on there.
Yeah, a bit of gas axe on it.
The front control arm.
You got comes down here. So bushes again. You may find on some of them where this gets really baggy.
Yeah.
And it's the only really bush on Subarus, I think, where if that gets really baggy, you may feel a bit of wandering on the road.
Yeah. So do people go with anti-lift kits on Subarus as well then?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I did that on my GTI, and then I went on the Subaru forums. They're talking about it as well. I was like,
unbolt that. That slides off.
Yeah.
New one on, bolt in. Obviously, a full geometry would be after that as well, because it is a suspension.
Definitely.
Component. Bottom arms have seen better days again. Aged car.
Yeah.
You've got to expect it. You know, I mean.
Yeah.
We think Subarus last forever, and you get like two types in my experience. You get one where the shell is absolutely split mint, everything bolted to it's crusty, or you have it the other way around. Where the shell's rotten as a pear,
but everything's been changed.
Everything's mint,
yeah.
So, this one, I think, is a little bit of both.
Bit of both.
Fairness. But you know, it is an old car nowadays. You know, you go back probably like 15 years, you get a Ford KA, and you've got no quarters on it, and fuel tank's rotten off. You know,
I suppose, with this kind of car, I mean, we've got to keep in mind that it's a couple of grand and it's 20 years old, isn't it? So I suppose that's what it's about, isn't it? So.
Exactly, So have a look at the brake system here. Well, you say they've not been particularly looked after, shall we say?
So these are the fake bolts.
They're not the standard bolts though. They should come with little washers on them.
See, I'm picking up stuff now when I took the wheels off.
Yes, you're getting into it.
See, before I even came here,
stuff next, aren't you?
before I even came here, I was like, these bolts are right. So I'm going to show you the new bolts in a bit. I actually did get the right part numbers. So yeah, those are the wrong ones.
These split pins, now these should have one continuous pin.
Oh, they should have a pin going,
Yeah. Now that obviously will hold that pin in there. It does a job.
Yep.
But from factory, they should have one pin that goes along here, clips into that hole there, and then to the bottom pin.
Dave, man, they're ruining your flow, man.
Yeah, what's that all about, eh? How dare they do work in work time?
I know, isn't it? I just clocked that. It does look nice though, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. You don't see many in that colour either.
No, you don't. You're right. It's got some wide arches on there as well.
It's almost like a flick paint, that, isn't it?
Yeah, that does.
Like on that Renault Megane.
Yeah, it does look like that, You're just surrounded by Subarus. I forgot how many cars are here when you end up, you forget.
It's crazy, it is crazy. You know, I mean, we see it every day here. You know,
right, so we can continue then.
Right, so we did find a little bit of play in this wheel, didn't we?
We did,
halfway down, so I think we'll have a look at that.
Yep.
I don't know if that's probably the best way for you.
Yeah, it should be good,
Put our bar in here, have a good check.
Yep, so that's the dodgy ball joint there.
That is the dodgy ball joint.
Plenty of play there.
Now, I dare say that you would feel on the road.
Yeah, it did. It feels a bit loose around the front end. Luckily I was aware of that, so I didn't go around caning the car straight away.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, aged car,
I did them on my GTI recently as well. They're all crusty as well.
Again, do it in pairs, so we'll check this side. See
Yep,
what this side's up to.
Should be equally as loose, hopefully.
That is actually alright.
Yeah, actually that's alright.
But again, with suspension stuff,
You change them in pairs anyway, innit?
you're probably better off doing it.
Yeah.
At least then you know you're starting from fresh. Right, it's had 2 of them. A bit wet round here.
Okay. Ooh. Another dodgy one. I told you there was one on each.
I'm going to try it.
Yeah, it'll come out. Straight away it'll come out. I guarantee you will, because I could do it. I was just like, hold on. Perfect, isn't
Those
it?
threads are really quite bad, aren't they?
Yeah, that's why the word helicoil was used a lot in the last week or so, but we'll see if that makes a good difference or not.
See, helicoil coil, if your pistons are fine on these are Subaru 4-pots. What you do find when they get a bit older,
Yeah.
the pistons will seize in the calipers. So if you've got, say, you know, your threads have gone, if your pistons are starting to seize up or getting very stiff, you'd probably think about doing calipers really on it, in all fairness. Because by the time you've helicoiled that and then like 6 months later your pistons are seizing up, you're into a set of calipers anyway. So back to bodywork side of things, it has had a plate in here.
Okay.
Definitely, because that bit is solid. Again, the quality of the welding, I suppose, and the prep work into it is probably questionable. If you come around this side, you can see it here, where yes, it is welded, but you've got all the gaps in there.
That's airflow.
Airflow, yeah.
That's airflow, that is.
Cools your door down when it...
Rust is lighter than carbon fibre.
I like it. I'm going to use that. Again, we'll do it in pairs. So yeah, you know, same story for this side.
Yeah.
You're welding along here.
Yeah. Okay.
So yes, it has had some welding done on it, but as you say, you know, how good is it? Questionable, in my opinion.
Jacking point still intact.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
I'm going to need to buy a 2-post lift if it isn't.
That's Dave approved that one. Yeah, solid that.
Front anti-roll
Subframes
Yeah.
usually go in this corner.
Okay.
It's a lot more common on the 01 on stuff, but this one again is. They always seem to do that. I think what it is because of the exhaust heat, and again moisture, age of car.
The front anti-roll bar is quite accessible though, isn't it, compared to a lot of other cars?
Yeah, you know,
right here,
you got a bolt there, a bracket there. You have to take that middle plate down. Same this side, there and there. Then it's off.
I'd take the whole subframe off the GTI last week. The whole thing, I had it propped up with one of them things and it was just holding.
So if somebody's thought, well, you know, yeah, we'll change them, we'll put the uprated ones on. A little bit moist around the back of your sump there. Again, it's probably hard to see on your camera. Now that could be two things you probably see as well here.
Yeah.
That could be a couple of things. It could be that yes, it is your sump that wants to reseal, or you could find the rear crank seal, or the plate on the back of the block. Some of them are plastic ones, some of them have metal ones. The plastic ones, they generally, where the screws are held in, they crack, and then they all start sweeping from there. Headers here, but that looks like it's off at 01 on.
Oh, so it's a different model year one.
Yeah, I'm going to say looking at that, and the inlet pipe, which has got one of the ports bunged off on it, I would say is probably a bottom end off a 01 car, possibly.
Alright, so the car's coming down. Got to expect these things when you're buying an older Subaru, especially one for a couple of grand. It's a 20-year-old car, so some of the things are surprising, but some of the other ones I'm like, yeah, you kind of expect it. So here's some of the bits that I bought with me. So this is the inlet pipe, and these are all the caliper bolts which I bought, but there's no threads to put them in, so we'll stay there for now. Fluid time.
Yep. For that we don't need a pry bar.
Nope. Hopefully anyway. I have topped it up a few times because
normal that. Hey, you're doing well, look, bang on the marks.
Look at that. See? Been practicing with other cars, man. Basics are basics.
It means you do actually get a gearbox dipstick. So that, you'd say that looks relatively not bad, but bearing in mind you've got a silver background to it. That looks fairly clean now. I bet if you drained it, you'd probably find that it is quite a dark brown. Okay. So, you know, you change it, look after it, hopefully it'll last a little bit longer. And there's not a lot in there at all.
I opened it up, I was like, I didn't know what the overflow was.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I didn't want to top it up fully. You know, I've had issues where the previous cars, which obviously designed differently, it's been overflowed and then it just goes.
The belongs that's full.
Yeah.
And you'll fill it up to just under there.
And then that's the...
And that is your expansion. So if it gets too much pressure in your system,
yeah,
it bleeds off through here, down this part, goes along the top of the radiator on this pipe here.
Okay.
All the way along into there. There is a full mark on it.
Yep.
And a low mark on it. Now there's actually a tank from there into your inner wing.
Okay.
So it's not just that little bit, there's actually another tank in there. Look at the top of there, that could be a slow leak on something when it gets up to temperature when you're driving it. It could be weeping out. Again, aged car, these slips do become weak.
Yeah. Replace it all with silicone then?
Yeah, I mean, you've got a full kit car, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
The guy gave it you. Change them out, jubilee them.
Yeah.
Make sure all these are clean as well before fitting them.
Yes.
Because crust on there, it's not going to have a nice seal on it.
It's just going to,
You can put that in there.
Yeah.
If you look from the side there, you can see when you've obviously got your coolant in, you can see it blobbing around in there.
Okay, yeah, because I was thinking I can't see
it is quite hard to see in there, especially when they get all old and acky and not very nice. Power steering.
Yes, power steering.
Something that is overlooked on Subarus, Jeff. They do occasionally leak from the front seal as well. Obviously, it is behind all this. You know,
Go on.
Quite dark as well.
Yeah.
That stinks, that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
So that, I'm guessing, by the colour of it and the smell of it, a change would probably be advisable for that.
Yeah.
Again, moving parts of the pump, keep it clean. Your steering starts feeling heavy and a bit notchy maybe.
Yeah.
That could be one of your issues. So you're looking from the bottom. Is it alright? Has it been rubbed? Has it been trapped in the door a million times? You don't know, so you have to check it.
Yep.
Not too bad to be fair, that's alright. Lift it in, get a good tug.
Yep.
Locks out there, goes back alright.
Yep.
I'd say happy days.
Happy days.
Always check the seats as well.
If they've been in.
Because I have had one where I've done that same check and it went right forward. I'm like, that's not actually bolted in anymore. So
I did take the seats out when I cleaned it, but all four were put back in.
Another thing to probably watch for as well on the rust is if they go here, they do start going here, it feels pretty solid.
Yeah, I stuck a magnetic screw tray on it and it's stuck on each bit.
Oh,
that's good, isn't it? Dan's joined us now as well.
I'm involved again.
Involved again. Yeah. We're doing a light check now, aren't we?
Yeah, doing a light check.
I don't like the blue on these. It just looks a bit. It looks a bit cheesy to me. Me personally, I'm not a fan of that on the end.
Right. I'm not a fan of the LED kind of thing because they usually flicker slightly on these.
It just doesn't look like original. That's why I don't like it.
Yeah, headlights. Maybe. Indicators?
Oh look, indicators work.
Yeah.
Even the side one works as well. Down on the controls. Are there any number plate lights on it?
There's meant to be two, but there's only one.
One, yeah.
It's it's not even there. It's there. Brake lights. So your middle one's not working.
Okay, middle one's not working.
Indicators? Yeah.
Indicator works.
Yeah.
Oh look, both reverse lights work as well. Lights work, mate.
Is it a rear fog?
Rear fog. Is there a rear fog on these? Where is it normally?
There you go.
That's nice, isn't it?
So everything's working other than... Cheers, sorry. So
number plate.
You know bulb and cap on that one.
Spoiler light doesn't. Okay, so this is probably just not connected to anything.
More than that. Just pop his boots on. So.
Okay.
That should go to your spoiler brake light.
Explains it then. So that's pretty much it for the check then.
Pretty much, yeah. It's we'll top those levels up.
Yeah.
When the car's off the ramp, a bit of spray grease on your hinges, on your doors, and then now, like I say, be round to the dyno for a check on there.
Yeah.
This one we're not going to do because obviously the brakes are hanging off.
Yeah. So ordinarily with this check that you guys offer, so there's a dyno run included, but as we already know, we need to tighten the brakes first. So I did my bit in terms of getting the studs on, but then it's a never-ending cycle, isn't it? So car is going to stay here
for the meantime. That's why I've come down another one. So the plan is we're going to film a few videos. We'll probably move around the shop anyway. And but yeah, thanks for that inspection.
No worries. Thank you.
And hopefully the guys will be very interested to see what you look to expect on an Impreza like that. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like on it. Also come and check these guys out if you need some Subaru work doing. As you can see, there's plenty of stuff going on here. And yeah, just subscribe for a lot more content to come, and we'll see you in the next one.